Are you hearing strange noises in the middle of the night? Have you, or someone you know, seen a specter phenomenon or a ghost? If you answered yes to any of these questions, don't hesitate to call the experts. Ghostbusters Ork Edition. I will be showing you step by step on how to paint one of these. Let's get started. So I use contrast black Templar, but you can also just use a watered down Abaddon black. Now it's time for the highlights. So for the first highlight, we're gonna start with Ushabti Bone. We're gonna have just a little bit of paint on the brush towards almost like a dry brush, and we're just gonna do it over the areas of highlights. What comes after highlights? More highlights. Now we're gonna use Mephiston Red and we're going to tap it on the red canister. I like to focus on edges and just don't overthink it. Tap, 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 tap. We're gonna do the exact same thing for the yellow canister with Aerial Yellow. We're also going to do the exact same thing again on the blue canister, but with Caldor Sky. Now we're going to use Dawnstone for the highlights on the black parts. Now I dry brush it off a little bit first on a paper towel, and then I use the end of the brush and I just kind of use it to do little highlights and then maybe little scratches. Now we're going to use Iron Breaker or a bright silver and we're going to do highlights on the metal parts. And if you extra want to do some cool looking detail, we're going to tap it on the canisters and focus on the edges and then just do little bits just randomly throughout. Now we're going to use Warboss Green for highlights on the orc. I just kind of focus on the points that stick out. Now if you want even brighter highlights, I recommend using Boot Green. And we're just going to use that sparingly on the face. Now we're going to use Ushawi Bone for the highlights on the teeth. Now you're just going to want to paint just the tips of the teeth. Now we're going to use Emperor's Children for the gums of the teeth. Now I watered it down until there was barely any paint on the brush. And then we're just going to do a thin line above the teeth and below the teeth. Are you sick of your guns looking boring? Well, so am I. I made this gun overheated in easy steps. Let's get started. First, we're going to use a white paint and we're going to fill in the little barrel holes and the tip of the gun. Now we're going to use Contrast Imperial Fist and we're going to fill in the holes that we made white. Now we're going to mix white with the Contrast Imperial Fist. Now we're going to use that mixed paint and we're going to focus on the tip of the gun and slowly move out. Now we're going to use Troll Slayer Orange and we're going to water it down until there's barely any paint on the brush. And then we're going to paint over the entire area that we just made with that mixed yellow. Now we're add just a little white dot at the tip of the gun. Now results of all the Ghostbuster orcs. What are you still doing here? If you're here this long, go subscribe or watch my next video. Bye!